World, what's going on? This is Mr. Starts with the Vision. And today I decided to do things a little bit different. We're actually going to be doing an interview with Reaux. He is a successful social media marketer, and we're going to dive deep into what he does and how he's been able to be a successful entrepreneur for as long as he's been doing it. So without further ado, what's going on, Drake?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I am so amazing. I'm so thankful for everything. And I'd like to thank you for your time as well, because I know you didn't have to be here.
Oh, likewise. Anytime I can come on and collaborate with other awesome entrepreneurs, I love that opportunity. So I'm excited to be here as well.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And I don't like fluff. I've had enough of that in my journey. So we're gonna get right into it.
Let's do it. Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, that's all it's about is that content, right?
Exactly.
So tell everybody who you are. What is it that you do specifically? What is your company and how long have you been doing it?
Yeah, so my name is Reaux. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur. You know, at my core, I just love starting and growing and building businesses and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. I do own a social media agency that's based out of Dallas, Texas. We got incorporated December 2nd, 2014. And so I've been doing that for a little over a year and a half now. Prior to getting incorporated, I did a two-year case study just to ensure that I knew exactly what the hell I was talking about before I actually got started into it, you know, and started building a presence with inside of that space. A little bit of context or background story on me. I grew up as a military brat. My dad did 20 years in the Navy, retired at 38. So I grew up basically in a military institution. And so I enjoy it though. It gave me a lot of leverage growing up in life that I saw that a lot of my peers didn't have. For instance, what got me started on my entrepreneurial journey was actually the summer of my 7th grade year. My dad kind of forced me to read a book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Right. And so even though, you know, my level of understanding and my dialect wasn't up to that level at that point, the concepts in the book kind of resonated with me. It kind of opened up my mind to think in a different way, you know, and I had to ask myself, okay, well, how was it that, you know, my dad was able to retire at 38 and my mom is still working, doing something that she wasn't really passionate about? And that book kind of helped me understand how that was possible. And so following that summer, that's when I started my first, you know, quote unquote business. That's when LimeWire was still around. So what I did is I noticed, yeah, I may be incriminating myself a little bit here, but
I noticed, that's a good day.
I noticed, you know, on the way to our sports events, you know, we'd be walking around with the CD players and our headphones that, you know, had a wire connected to them, and we'd have like a case of CDs just to listen to like 1 or 2 songs on each of those CDs. And I was like, okay, well, why don't I just make custom CDs for all these athletes so that way they can have one CD, you know, it's convenient, and they can have all the songs that they want to listen to, regardless of whether it's from, you know, this artist, so on and so forth. And so that was very profitable. You know, I kind of went the extra mile and created like custom CD covers and so on and so forth. And so that's what got me started.
Dope. That's what's up. I like to hear that. And do you think you could elaborate a little bit more on the actual case study you did for 2 years? Because that's very interesting.
Yeah. So what happened is like I got started, or, you know, after that LimeWire business in middle school, my senior year of high school, I got started in traditional network marketing. My parents had dabbled in it, you know, earlier, probably when I was like 7, 10 years old. With Amway, and so I guess it was, you know, it was kind of ingrained in my DNA. But what happened was I started running a traditional network marketing business with traditional methods, and that was, you know, face-to-face meetings, driving to hotel meetings. It got to the point where I was seeing, you know, enough success to where I had teams that, you know, were across the country, and I was, you know, utilizing all of my resources to go and build a business traditional manner.
Okay.
And so it created a pain point for me, right? Like my family was like, yo, all of your time is going into this. You know, you're utilizing all your resources. You're not even focused on your, you know, at that point in time, I had transitioned into college at Baylor University, and I wasn't paying attention to my school. Yeah, Baylor University down in Waco.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't paying attention to any of my schoolwork. And so I had to stop and ask myself, how can I solve my own problem? And, you know, like a light bulb came on in my head and kind of smacked me in my face and was like, why are you not leveraging the power of the internet? It only makes sense that, you know, the biggest communication tool that you have at your disposal, you should be using. And so that's when I started to learn some internet marketing strategies, and learning how to leverage social media to build a brand and get some exposure and kind of turn the tables to where I didn't have to go hunt down people and in hopes that they were interested in what movement I was in. And, you know, instead they were coming to me because, you know, I had that brand affinity and equity.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's very big, and I think a lot of network marketers can and should take note of that right there, leveraging the internet instead of hunting people down. Yeah, that's big right there. So,
definitely.
So what about this? Tell me about this. What was your vision that started your entrepreneurial journey, and once you incorporated yourself as a legal entity in Texas, what was the vision for the company then?
Got you. So starting in entrepreneurship, right? Like my vision was just to figure out how this monster of a machine worked, right? Like I was just naturally intrigued by entrepreneurship. Like it was a different way of living, and I wanted to figure it out. And so one of the main things, you know, inside of the scope of entrepreneurship that kind of jumped out at me was I could serve people, right, and be rewarded for that. And the better that I serve, the better the reward for me. And so it seemed like a mutually beneficial journey, a mutually beneficial path, as opposed to, you know, like a 9 to 5. Excuse me. It serves, you know, the corporation that you work for, and then you and your family. And, you know, maybe if you have a big enough role in the company, maybe, you know, a couple people who are clients or customers of that company. But I wanted my legacy, I wanted my reach to expand out and touch more people. In regards to getting incorporated with DC Emprise, the social media agency, my vision for that was I realized how painful it was to run a business in a traditional manner, right, and know that there's a better way to build a business. To see other people in my space and industry running a business that way and having so much success with it, and you feeling like, man, I'm so passionate, I'm so good at what I do, but I'm not tapping into the fullest potential of my space or my business. And so it's kind of like, I was telling somebody the other day, it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, there's 3 things that go into it. It's, you know, what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what people will pay you for, right? You have to have those 3 in alignment, right? Like you can't have a horse and carriage business and know that Henry Ford is opening up a, you know, Ford Motor Company or a plant right down the street, and you still stay in the horse and carriage business. It's not going to work, regardless of how passionate you are, regardless of how good you drive a horse and carriage or build a horse and carriage. Like it's just not going to work. And so I didn't want people, or I didn't want entrepreneurs and business owners to get stuck in traditional marketing methods because they had fallen in love with how they did business. And so I wanted to provide services that I knew were applicable and relevant to how business is done in today's day and age.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So tell me this then. In what ways does your business operate today that is against the traditional way?
Yeah, so I mean, in a sense, we're a product of the product, right? Like we leverage different social media platforms to kind of build brand awareness around our company and the things that we do. A lot of the posts that go out are they have a specific message, right? And a specific tone that gets people to think outside of the box and really understand how social media can influence their business in a positive way, positive direction. Outside of that, I have to be honest and transparent. Social media is an amazing tool. It's how we do business. But at the end of the day, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. Reason being is because the rapport is already built, right? You don't have to go through that process that you do on social media of finding somebody new and having no point of connection with them. And so a lot of the success of my company, especially in its first year, as we were kind of flying under the radar, was just ensuring that we do good work for the client, so that way they felt inclined to, become a referral source for us, and basically word of mouth. And so that's kind of how we've been operating. And as we're transitioning into year 2, we're starting to get enough clout up under our belt to where we can do a lot more creative things as far as like video marketing, which is one of the hottest methods, as you've seen, starting your YouTube channel and series. It's amazing what's out there and what's possible. And so we just want to be at the forefront of that.
Okay. And just one more sub question about that. For our viewers, can you let them know how you actually get paid? Is it by contracts? Is it, per customer, or how do you get paid? Because a lot of people, they don't, there's a lot of business models, and, I just want people to know how not what you get paid, but how you get paid. So, this may be able to help them out.
Okay, most definitely. So the way our business is kind of positioned is we have, on the front end, we have a front end staple product, and that is our phase 1 product, where a lot of people come to social media and they start their accounts and they just start throwing up on their accounts. They distribute content. And with social media, it's the metaphor that I use. It's kind of like a cocktail party. You can't just show up and start talking about you and your day and your products and your services and what you care about, because nobody else really cares, right? So with our staple product, what we do is within the first 30 days, we kind of go in and do that market research. And that is a one-time payment. So it's a one-time product. At the end of that 30 days, you'll have a full report of, what your current online presence looks like, what's working for you, what's not working for you. As well, on the flip side, you'll also have a screenshot of what your competitors' online presence looks like, what's working for them, what's not working for them. We'll take all that data, put it into a report or a custom strategy, and then hand that report over to you. At that point in time, you can kind of, decide that you take that report and you're like, wow, this is awesome. It's so detailed. And you could go and basically manage your social media accounts yourself. Some other people may say, hey, this is cool. This is a lot of information. This is great. We have a team in place to kind of implement this, but we need them to be coached or consulted. If that's the case, then we would kind of do that on a like monthly contract basis, where we either come in on site and coach and consult, or kind of do something like this online, where they have their team in the conference room and we kind of just conference and coach them that way. The third and final option is going to be, you come to us after receiving the report and you say, wow, this is a lot. Like, we didn't realize how in depth that, social media goes, and what types of behaviors, have to be implemented in order to get the results that we're looking for. Can you do this for us? And that's where we get into like, our minimum is a 6-month contract, where, we take over and basically become your social media marketing department for you. We post on your behalf, we engage with your audience on your behalf, create your content, distribute your content, the whole 9 yards. So that's ultimately, what we're looking for is, who are those long-term clients that we can build a relationship with.
Right. And anyone can use your services, correct? Whether it's somebody trying to build a brand, whether it's an actual company, whether it's a small business, anybody can use your services, correct?
Most definitely. And the thing about it is, in today's day and age, everybody has to see themselves as a media company first. I don't care if you work, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you have, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you work a 9 to 5, right? Like everybody has to see themselves as a media company. What's going to start happening is even employees will start to be, judged and based off of their presence online. And so, if you take a proactive approach, then, you can kind of set yourself ahead of the game and, show that you have a passion for the industry that you're going to interview for, or the company that you're going to interview for. Show that you have a history behind, just showing up with a resume and saying, hey, I want a job.
Right. That's amazing. And that's spot on, because I see that as well when people apply for jobs. The resume kind of is okay, but they actually go and dig and see what other people's social media sites are.
Exactly.
So that is very true. But tell me this though. Where do you see business going and evolving to regarding social media, and what capacity is social media going to play in business in the future?
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, social media is so ambiguous still and so vast. We're just getting started. Like, we have not even scratched the surface. I think in the future, and I'm just going based off of what I see, right? Like, I'm not predicting anything out of the, out of the blue, but it's going to play a big role. As you can see, with the Facebooks, the Snapchats, and the Instagrams of the world, it's making things a lot more accessible at our fingertips, and a lot more convenient, to where, you don't pull up the yellow pages anymore. You don't look up at billboards anymore. If you're going to look for a product or a service, or get some background on a company, you're going to go straight to Facebook, or you're going to go straight to Instagram to see what type of content are they putting out, how engaged is their audience, what type of relationships have they built with their customers. And I think that's the major key is, if you're a business, realize that it's about developing those relationships through content, which content is king. So yeah, I think that's the direction it's heading.
That's amazing. But I think it's actually very crazy, because I mean, I think you were a little bit you underplayed it by saying that, it's just the beginning and it's going to be important, because I mean, I've read stories when people have made 1.3 million on Instagram.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just from building a brand and selling it, right? Just building up an account and selling it. Like, people don't realize, like, people are, it's like online real estate, right? That is what social media is. It's online real estate. And so that's why it's so important to build a brand, because you're basically building a house. What type of quality house are you going to build on this? It's like it's almost like the gold rush, right? During that age where California was untouched land. Yeah, digitally. It's untouched land on a digital plane. And so go and grab your stake, be proactive, and go grab your stake and build the best imaginable creative idea that you can, and monetize it.
Right. And I love it, because I absolutely love it, because unlike real estate, Instagram is free, Snapchat is free, Facebook is all free. And you don't need contractors, you don't need blueprint, you don't need anything. Like, you can literally do a little bit of reading, go get some free content online, and go learn how to do it. And so that's why I think it's so powerful when we talk about where it's going and what it's already done for people.
Yeah, what it's already done is it's provided a level playing field. Where it's going is wherever, the people who decide to step up to the plate and build something on this level playing field decide to take it.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to see everybody that contributes to this space.
Oh, definitely. And I'm excited to see what you end up accomplishing in the next, I would say 3 to 5 years, but I know you're a freaking stand-up guy, so I'll say next 12 months.
Yeah, I like to move fast, man. I pull from both directions, to go into the next question, just because I kind of know the flow. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned in business is you have to kind of learn how to be omnipresent, right? And so what I mean by that is, like, be able to pull from different directions at one time. And so you equally need to be impatient about the methods in which you go about achieving your goals, But at the same time, in business, you have to, I think patience is the most undervalued characteristic or trait of an entrepreneur. You have to be patient about, once you've done what you can do and things that are outside of your control, you have to remain balanced and let things come into fruition. But
Right.
move on your end, move as fast as possible as you can.
Right. So really control what you can, but remain patient throughout the process.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson because I've been pulling my hair out, because I mean, you can only control what you can control, and everything else you really have to just let it go and let it grow.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell me this last thing really quick, and I'll let you go. What vision do you see for you and your company in the near future?
Yeah, so for me, like it doesn't make sense to do anything if you don't see yourself being the best at it.
Right.
For me and my company, I want us to be the best social media agency in the world. I have enough courage and ambition to feel like I can back that up. Me and my team that I'm building. And there's just no doubt in my mind. Like that's what I see. It's just a matter of time. Again, I'm moving as fast as possible, but I'm going to be patient through the process. But that's what I see. I see DC Emprise managing Fortune 500 company accounts, and ones that actually matter, ones that are creating change in the world, right? Like,
Right.
that's the type of client that I foresee us working with and serving.
Right. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And that's
Thank you.
amazing. So
Thank you.
I absolutely see that happening for you because if
Thank you.
nobody knows, but I actually met Drake on Instagram. Crazy.
That's right.
So he is he practices what he preaches. I mean, I
Yeah.
met him on Instagram, we connected, and I mean we've been chopping up a lot
I think it's
lately,
been a
and
year. It's either been a year
close
or a
to
little
it.
over a year. Yeah.
Close, yeah.
Yeah.
That I mean, wow, time flies.
Right?
Time is flying, and I'm actually looking to go out there. I believe in June. You said?
Yeah. So I'll be
Yeah.
speaking in Miami in June from June 14th through 17th in South Beach. So
Okay.
it'd be
Yeah,
great to have
that's
you
great.
and any other viewers out there too.
Yeah. And the last thing,
Yep.
we have a recent accomplishment alert.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I almost forgot.
tell us about your recent. I almost forgot too. Tell us about your recent accomplishment and
Yeah.
what you're looking
So
to do with that.
you know, piggybacking off of the momentum of, the first company, DC Emprise, a social media agency. I've been able to come in contact with, awesome individuals, and it's positioned me in a place to where I was actually able to purchase my second business called Dapper Deals Club. It is an online e-commerce store that sells accessories that kind of complement the entrepreneurial lifestyle, right? Like, so
Right.
affordable, but still yet trendy and professional look. And so hopefully, going through the journey of entrepreneurship and having those times when the bank account is on E, and, you have a decision to make, are you going to eat, or are you going to, invest in your business, or, invest in, this suit or this watch or whatever it may be, so that you can go and present yourself in a proper manner with,
Right.
whoever you're trying to make a deal with. I think that this platform will definitely help a lot of entrepreneurs out get started in their journey and progress forward. So happy to say that I have purchased my second business with Dapper Deals Club and partnered up with some great individuals.
That's freaking amazing, man. So what's the website to that?
So if you go to www.dapperdealsclub.com, you'll be able to access the store and kind of browse through, see what you like, and go ahead and purchase from the store.
Okay, great. And I'll put that in the bottom in this description. And if
Okay.
anybody is looking to get any services from you, what is that website?
Yeah, so the social media agency website is www.dc Emprise. That's E as in Echo, M as in Mike, P as in Papa, R as in Romeo, I as in Indigo, S as in Sierra, E as in Echo.com. And you can go ahead and all the contact information is up there on the contact tab. Get in touch with us and we can look, or we can find out if we can help you and serve you in any way, social media wise.
Great. And if anybody wants to reach you personally, or if they want to, you know, take a look at your social media accounts, what are your social medias?
Yeah, so all of my social media accounts across the board, and I want to go ahead and give you guys some free value, is you want to ensure that, you know, whatever it is, whether it's your business brand or your personal brand, that you have consistency across the board. So every social media platform that you have, you should have the same handle or the same username across the board if you can. And so mine is at Drake Reaux, DrakeReaux. And I don't rap or sing. So in case you were wondering.
Right. Well, you guys heard it. I appreciate your time. I don't know how long this is, but it was a pleasure.
Ooh, we could go for
Yeah.
however long.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I definitely appreciate it. And we hope that this added a lot of value to you guys. And we hope that you go out and you start your own business today, not tomorrow. And it's the best decision that you could ever make to be an entrepreneur. And we will see you guys on the next video.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Jose. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.